Hello, denizens of the internet. Today I'm reviewing Jennifer Lopez's Netflix sci fi epic Atlas. Warning, there will be spoilers. I would normally do a green light, yes or no, but since this is a movie and not a series, I'm going to go straight up for the review. But as I've said many times, I don't purposely review dumpster fires. The reason I am reviewing Atlas is that I'm a mech nut. Put a person in a big mech suit and I'm probably going to watch it. I loved Pacific Rim, Gurren Lagann, Mobile Suit Gundam, Knights of Sidonia, Eureka 7, Voltron, Appleseed. Loved Expelled from Paradise, but don't get me started on that limp Neon Genesis Evangelion. So I had to watch Atlas. I would say it's not particularly good, but not for lack of trying. It has this expositional style that leaves nothing to the imagination. While I rolled my eyes at the thought of Lopez being a mech suit warrior, she really worked her ass off on this movie, which I'm sure was tough to perform as there would be tons of green screen acting, by the bucketful. Her emoting was on max. She wasn't Emily Blunt from Edge of Tomorrow. Sterling K. Brown was so committed to this silliness that my brain exploded. Is there nothing this man can't make work? I would have loved to have seen more scenes between him and Lopez. Mark Strong was fine, and Simu Liu as the evil android Harlan. I'm sorry, but an evil android bent on wiping out most of humanity should not be called Harlan. I know they wouldn't use Emperor Ming the Merciless. It would have been too on the nose and, perhaps somewhat racist. But come on, have some fun. Oh no, Harlan's coming to kill everyone. It doesn't work. I should add that Liu goes total android and is just fine with what little he has to work with. And that's my main problem with the movie. As Robert Meyer Burnett might say, it lacks verisimilitude. This is not an anime cartoon. It's meant to look like real life. And the robot suit voiced by Gregory James Cohen is put through activities that should have caused its limbs to fly off and metal bits to break. It was far too cartoonish. But let's get to the movie. It starts absolutely horrendously with an extended set of expositional voiceovers ostensibly culled from news feeds. It tells us why we humans created these androids, what we used them for. Here, we have a news feed that decided to pixelate the tiny boobies of this female replicant. I asked myself, was this part of the movie? Was it decided on later? Was it a Netflix management request? Seriously, a movie about the future where we are afraid of seeing a female replicant's nipples? Her boobs weren't that big. We are strangely squeamish about exposed female nipples, but women's nipples magically turn into men's nipples when they decide to present as men with mastectomy scars. Humans are stupid. Let's move on. We are explicitly told about Harlan, the world's AI terrorist. Then we get documentary footage of how Mom Shepard, Atlas's mother, developed Harlan, raised alongside of her genius daughter Atlas to improve life on Earth. Seriously, Atlas and Harlan needed to switch names. That would have been better. Harlan, we are told, is responsible for overriding all bot programming. We don't know why. We don't know why just yet. I'm betting on running out of Thousand Island salad dressing. That's my bet. They corralled poor Jeffrey Hinton, a real scientist, to reference Isaac Asimov's 3 laws of robotics. Anyway, the humans mount a counter-strike called ICN, which defeats the AI bot army, causing Harlan to escape in a handy rocket ship with space jumping capability to another planetary system. Because we all have access to rocket ships in the future, Harlan sends a final message. I know you'll be looking for me. I'll be coming back to finish what I started. This is the only way. Then we get this graphic 28 years later, which I assume means 28 years later. And now we get an opening scene reminiscent of The Matrix, where the soldiers go after an AI bot named Casca, who was left on Earth how many years earlier? I don't know, I can't recall. He kills a ton of soldiers before they finally EMP him. I would have thought that that would have been the first thing they would try. But no, because it wasn't in the script. Cut to Atlas being woken up in her sumptuous Los Angeles apartment with all the holographic electronic conveniences, because in the future Los Angeles will have tons of massive apartments like this available to everybody. She plays chess, half asleep, even before brushing her teeth, because she's a genius. Let's not have any doubts, because a woman playing holographic chess with a computer is the best way to show it. Then we get more news-driven exposition. We haven't seen Harlan in 28 years, but we do need to talk about it at this point in the movie because it's in the script. General Jake Booth tells us not to worry because of the planetary defense system created by the smartest woman in the galaxy, Atlas Shepard. She sees that Casca has been captured and rushes off to HQ, but not before defeating the computer chess application. Cut to the general arguing with Colonel Banks about the merits of Atlas working on this job. They talk about her like they are her sisters. It's weird. Give them credit for getting through this bullshit dialogue. Casca was part of a sleeper cell? What? Harlan is planning something? I would never have anticipated that. Atlas goes to interrogate Casca in a box. I have to admit, that looked like fun. Atlas wants to know where Harlan is, but Casca ain't budging. So she sticks her magnetized chess piece into his exposed CPU area, apparently which zaps him to reveal the whereabouts of Harlan. We get more exposition.
This new system analyzes every bit of your code.
Thank you. I would have expected that from a military agency, Sophus, with the highest tech that is able to stuff an AI bot's head into a suitcase filled with dry ice. Atlas tricks Casca in a box to reveal the location of Harlan. He's in an RV in New Jersey. No, of course not. He's on planet GR39 in the Andromeda Galaxy. Now she just has to rent an off-world Airbnb. Now, I just have to ask anyone out there, does anyone think that this wasn't part of Harlan's plan to trick Atlas to go to the planet to try to capture him? Yeah, right. We're not so dumb. Casca tries to upchuck a rotating Home Depot death blade, but Atlas is too smart for him, and the force field that was never set up earlier, that we never knew was something they could do, stops the DeWalt mini saw from reaching her. She then kills him with her magnetized chess piece. Anya Taylor-Joy should have tried that on Netflix's Queen's Gambit. The general celebrates her entrance into the boardroom by saying, "Agent Shepard has just been able to do what no ICN analyst has been able to do in 28 years. Wiggle her ears independently." No, of course not. She just got the location of the most wanted AI terrorist in history, which begs the question, were there other AI terrorists? I have to say, Simu does not look very threatening, hovering over the coffee urn on the table. The general squeezes the back of a chair harshly to reveal that ICN wants to bring back Harlan alive to find out why he turned on them. Atlas wants him dead. Then Colonel Banks arrives, and Atlas won't shake his hand because he's a better actor than her. She tells the boys that their plan to capture an AI bot that is smarter than them is stupid, though not in those words.
If you try to bring him back, none of you are coming back alive.
Then Banks takes Atlas to see their new toy, a mech suit called Zoe, and here we are treated to a seminal moment in future DEI in this robot mispronouncing scene.
Oh, okay then.
Wait, how did it know I wanted coffee?
I'm sorry, but my pronouns are she and her, not it.
Yes, Atlas calls Banks's robot an it, whereby it corrects Atlas and says its pronouns are she and her, along with some condescending finger wagging. I posted this on Twitter X and it went viral. I don't think the writer or the producer of the movie realized that it wasn't quite the win for oppressed pronouns they thought it was. A robot that has been programmed to think it's a woman? Isn't that a commentary that all this gender stuff is made up, manufactured? I think the Rainbow Hall monitors definitely scored an own goal here. Banks explains he's connected to Zoe through a neural link which freaks Atlas out and sets up an important plot point. Banks tells Atlas that any synced ranger will be superior to Harlan. Yeah, who in their right mind is going to believe this bit of hubris? Yeah, I'm predicting that the Rangers get wiped out. Any takers on that bet? Yeah.
If you really want to capture Harlan, you really need me on this mission.
You're our top analyst. I need you here.
Nobody knows him like I do. We played Jenga together.
Banks pops in and tells the general he needs her. Wait, weren't you dissing her a few scenes earlier? Sure, but this makes it a powerful, emotional turnaround.
I need this.
Go get him. There is a silly exit clearance moment which is meant to indicate that Harlan will need to capture this spaceship to fool his way back through Earth's defenses. Why does a ship need an exit clearance? Is it going to the washroom? Yes, it's stupid. We get the mandatory space jump elongation whoosh because we have to make this a faster than light trip because J-Lo ain't getting any younger. Atlas listening to classical music and working tirelessly. Atlas replays a super Zoom meeting where her not-yet-dead mother talks about how amazing Atlas was when she was a child and the future of neural linking with their housebot. It does look like her mom jumped Harlan's titanium bones. We get to the briefing scene, which she does on paper because she doesn't trust AI, listening in on her planning. She tells them they can't trust any AI. The young bucks are dripping with incredulity. Who is this boomer? Banks tells everyone to suit up. They've arrived at GR39 in the Andromeda Galaxy. I know this because the graphic says that. Atlas arrives in the Mech lobby. I'm glad she found Pepe's hair salon. Banks chews Atlas out for being pessimistic to his Rangers before suiting up himself. Oh, this does not look good. J-Lo is getting a blow-dry. Missiles are being fired from the planet at their ship. Looks like all their mechs are being destroyed in one fell swoop. Who couldn't predict that? Banks tells his Rangers to meet at the drop zone. Doesn't look like there'll be anyone left. Agent Shepard is doing some Ashtanga hot yoga there. Banks saves Atlas and stuffs her into a spare mech suit where she seems even more pissed off. She's yelling, "Wait!" here, and I don't know why. Her choice is to be incinerated to death or be saved in a mech suit. She gets flung out of the ship and is dropping like a sack of bricks and is panicking. Understandably, but things get worse as flying thingies are attacking all the Rangers descending to the planet. They fight back. It's high adventure. A black female Ranger locks and integrates with Atlas. This looks very much like a strap-on. Banks tells Atlas to put on her Neuralink or she won't be able to control the suit and crash and die. Nope, she ain't gonna do it because she doesn't trust AI. Unfortunately, her date gets blowed up. Her suit warns altitude warning. Perhaps it should have been better if it yelled attitude warning, bitch. It won't fire the boosters until she puts on her neural link. But then she yells really loudly at it, and it does fire the boosters in time to land. Sparks fly in her suit because it's a party. She wakes up, disoriented and bleeding. I'm going to stop my detailed play-by-play here because you know what's going to happen from here on in. She'll have an existential AI battle with her mech suit's talking AI, which calls itself Smith. She doesn't want to give full control over to Smith, and we get to see some Pacific Rim shtick. Oh, yeah. She'll hunt down Hadley or Harlan or whatever. She'll get caught. This will cause her to finally trust Smith and accept the link, except in this case, it's Banks' link, which the AI bots let him keep for some reason, which he specifically said was made to connect only with his Zoe, but when Atlas puts it on, it automatically connects with her Smith, which the AI bots did not break into tiny chunks for some reason. It rescues her. What a surprise. Banks will show up and make one huge final sacrificing gesture, blowing himself and most of Harlan's AI bot minions to smithereens so Harlan and Atlas can have it out Android-O a Roboto. Poor Robot Smith makes one last self-sacrificial gesture that lets Atlas finish off Harlan. Atlas finally learns to trust her AI companion, only to see it die for her. Sorry, her. Sad. No real surprises, except for Banks's bulging eye torture scene. Ugh, that was gross. The movie looked very good, better CGI than most recent Marvel movies. But what took me out of it was while all the other mechs were getting blown and beaten up, Atlas's mech seemed to be indestructible in scene after scene. Ouch! Ooh! Ouchie! Ooh! Oh, that's gonna hurt. Until the end, when Simu started slicing and dicing him up with his blazing hot extendo sword. So much of this I would have put up with in an anime, but here it was silly and unnecessary, and that was my biggest problem, apart from the dialogue. Don't get me wrong, I love stupid stuff, Pacific Rim, a case in point, but please, stop abusing physics just for your own convenience. And how did Harlan, build all those facilities, AI bots, weapons on GR39? I don't care if you're a genius AI robot, you have to have excavation equipment, construction tools, along with steel foundries, concrete manufacturing, plastics, processor chip foundries. He did all that in 28 years. Not bad. There is a difference between stupid and dumb. Atlas was dumb. Harlan's motivation was the dumb, I'm going to save humanity by cleansing it trope. Why did Harlan leave the oxygen breathers on Atlas and Banks? Did Smith really die? It was a script of convenience with problems that were not hard to solve, but subtext seems to be a lost art as well as an understanding of basic physics. As far as rating this, it's just not very good, but better than Shotgun Wedding. I didn't buy J-Lo as Atlas, but appreciated her efforts. It's an okay Netflix time waster if you're a Mech fan, as opposed to Rebel Moon, which is a complete, utter waste of time. Stay away. Till next time, denizens, be seeing you.